Hi, this is really a message for all my old JW friends. No doubt you would have seen me at the convention wearing my t-shirt, which I've got on today, or at least if you didn't see me and Hannah, you would have heard about us being there. And I guess whether you agreed or not with the message that we had, you wouldn't be allowed to say anything anyway, otherwise you too might be labelled an apostate. But anyway, it's been about 3.5 years since I mentally checked out of the organisation, if you want to put it like that. It won't be till June that it'll be my 4-year anniversary of having been disfellowshipped. And I have to say honestly that not a day goes by when I don't think about the brothers and sisters, and I don't think about what the organisation is doing to people. I think a lot of witnesses, and certainly I was one of them, are just not aware of the damage that can be done to people's lives until it affects them personally. But having been out of the organisation now for a few years, I've been able to see firsthand the damage that is done, you know, when people are disfellowshipped, especially young people. And even those who have been disfellowshipped for 20 or more years are still suffering to this day. It's not only that they're cut off from their families, but there's a lot of emotional and social difficulties that people have. They have trouble forming friendships, being able to trust people, being able to, the organisation teaches us to be very judgmental of people and quick to shut them down if they say something that we don't agree with. So that can be a problem for people once they've left, that they find difficulty in coming to agreement with people and accepting people for who they are and accepting their opinions when they might be different to your own. So there's a lot of ex-witnesses even suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. So I mean it's pretty serious. You know, they see a witness literature cart in their town and then they have a panic attack. You know, if this is truly God's organisation, it wouldn't have that effect on people, surely. I think since leaving, I've just been able to see so much damage that it really rules out this being God's organisation. I don't think Jesus would tolerate collateral damage, you know, with people even dying for the organisation. You know, we think of people who perhaps have died in the past because of not being able to accept blood fractions. Well, now, of course, the blood fractions are considered a conscience matter. So, you know, people have actually died. That's serious. That's very serious. And won't Jesus call to account those who have led to this happening? I just wish more witnesses would really, instead of focusing on the good things and boasting about the good things that the organisation is accomplishing, like all the hundreds of languages that the literature is printed in and all the languages on the website and how they've got kingdom halls and they study the same material all over the world. You know, these are common things that you hear witnesses say to offer proof that they are God's organisation and have his backing. But they don't think about the downside, the negative things, whereas they're very quick to point out the negatives of any other religion and totally disregard, not acknowledging at all, the good things that those religions might accomplish. So it's very hypocritical. But anyway, I really wanted to speak out to my old friends and let them know that, you know, I think about them far more than I'm sure they think about me. it's a real shame, you know. I am still the same person that I was, that you loved before. I just decided to voice some of my different opinions that affected my conscience, that I could no longer continue with believing or teaching. And I know that many of my old friends feel the same way about some of these things. And they think that that's okay with the organisation, but really it's not. When you read through the literature, you find that there is no toleration of different viewpoints. You have to accept what the governing body say is true. And in recent years, they've really been pushing for obedience and loyalty towards them, that you must be cooperative with God's organisation, the governing body, and you have no hope of salvation if you don't. That's what they teach. But I know so many witnesses water down the teachings that they find unpleasant. They dilute them and make them more palatable. And we even see that on the official website, you know, on the frequently asked questions section, where questions are asked like, do you shun former members, and do you tolerate other religions, do you break up families, things like that. And they only give a very, the answer is deliberately misleading. It's sort of, it's a half-truth, basically, what they say. They don't give the whole truth, because what they really teach is really quite unpalatable, and the public would find it that way. But in order to draw people in, they've got to sort of water down these teachings. But, you know, so many witnesses, I think, don't even read their own literature. They don't keep up with the teachings. They don't keep up with their Watchtower studies. Teachings can be changed and they've missed it, and they still continue teaching the old thing. I don't think they really care, and I think that's a problem, because at the same time they are condemning others, or at least the literature condemns those in the churches of Christendom for staying with their churches despite their wrong teachings and stuff. But witnesses are really doing exactly the same thing, you know. So they're condemning other religions, and in fact the current understanding that the faithful and discreet slave has taught is that all those in the churches of Christendom were rejected by Jehovah from 1914 onwards. So that's individuals we're talking about there, not the false religious system as a whole, but individuals. And these individuals have been rejected. So that means that when these ones die, during what the witnesses call as the last days, if they die, they won't be resurrected. That's the conclusion we have to come to, because they've been rejected and bundled up as weeds for the fire. So if you're going to be teaching this, then, so condemning others, you have to remember that the way you measure out is the way you're going to be measured. The way you judge is the way you will be judged. So I don't think I'd like to be a witness come the end, when Jesus Christ returns and comes to judge and see who has been a sheep, who's a goat, who's a wheat and who's a weed. I don't think I'd like to be in their shoes. So I just wish my witness friends would really think hard about this, about the judgment that's coming, and whether they'd be happy to be judged the way they judge others. Anyway, I've rambled on a bit long, and I've probably goofed up my words quite a bit, I think. But at least this is something. Okay, bye.